Hey guys, I'm Carson Stalnecker. I'm the founder of Legendary Shots, cameraman, shooter, and editor.
Hey guys, I'm Chase Martin. I'm a shooter and a ball returner.
Hey guys, I'm Ryan Johnson. I am a partial shooter, full-time cameraman, and main editor for the Legendary Shots. And today we had the idea of doing sort of a commentary, definitely a commentary of the greatest game of horse, a video that we did with Brodie Smith over the summer. So yeah, we just thought that we'd play through it and tell you guys a lot of the cool things that we did behind the scenes, some stuff that you probably haven't seen from the main video. So we just thought that we'd spend a few minutes just sort of telling people how awesome of a video this was to make, and also the fact that it did well online was a huge plus. So let's go ahead and get started here, guys.
Let's do it.
All right. Okay, so we tried this scene a few times.
The first one, actually, Brodie throws it and it slams the side of the house, and another one goes into the woods, which is funny. So two frisbees were, well, we lost one, and then the other one we had to use again.
But he made that shot
third try.
Very quick. Yeah, very quickly.
My shot, however, when I missed to start off with, that was kind of embarrassing because I was actually trying to make it, and I hit the top of the backboard and it missed. Yeah,
and this was actually the very last thing that we filmed in the horse game, him making that shot. It was the last thing and the first thing that you see. This intro we did at Samford, which is a college, a really nice college that's just actually a few miles away from us.
We'd shot there before, actually. In 2010, we did the greatest basketball shot ever. It got 2 million views.
Yeah, this was the first shot of the day.
First shot of the first thing we did on camera, actually.
Yeah, and then we changed white balance settings there in between shots, so that's why that one, the color's not exactly.
Now that shot was real, by the way. Curving doesn't mean it's fake.
Gosh, so many people think this is fake.
Now here, Chase, look at this. Chase.
Somehow this banks. Look at that.
Yeah, he banks a sideways shot, a completely sideways shot, which is impressive or lucky. I don't know which one.
Both of these shots went in really quickly too.
Yeah, that's hardly worth mentioning. These two.
Yeah.
This.
And then, this one.
Okay, basically, Samford had told us. Pause it up here. They said it is time to go. You guys have to go. We have a tour coming in. We have recruits or something, and we were like, okay, we'll leave. But when the guy walked out, we realized we didn't have everything we needed, so we just kept shooting. And this shot, the shot after with the basketball, and then the shot after that where we get our first letter for the video, were all basically after we had been told to leave. So we would not have gotten the letter here, and we would have had to come up with something else.
And another cool thing too is that we started really early in the day, so this was probably 12 o'clock, noon, I would say.
Yeah, we shot in the morning.
Yeah, we shot really early.
And it was raining that entire day. This is the only thing we could have done was indoor shooting.
One more thing, Brodie originally on this shot, he tried to do I think he was hammer throwing.
He tried a couple different
things. So it curved 2 times in the air and changed directions, but and I think he hit rim several times with that, but he just ended up
this was the most reliable, and he just went with that eventually.
Yeah, which still.
And the basketball shot actually went in first before the frisbee one.
Yeah,
we just sort of
that was the case a lot of times. He swapped up the order. Brodie edited this about a week after we did it. This one was impressive.
If there was one shot that other than one that's coming up later that someone said to replicate, that would be probably the last one I'd choose to do, because that was it had like a 1-inch margin of missing over the back shot, because you'd either hit the backboard or go too far. Did that?
So this one
yours truly.
This is Carson.
Sinks it.
That'll just give you
That's
chills.
the only time I really toot my own horn. That shot. That's my favorite shot.
Yeah, the goal here was that
stone cold stare.
They were both trying to make it without looking behind them. Sadly, we'd been trying it for a while, and Brodie actually looked, but whatever.
Yeah, you can see in the clip when he looks back at the camera, it's partially I made it, and partially I cannot believe I turned around. You can see just the way he looks back, I turned around, but whatever.
Yeah, and throws the hands up. This was the last shot of the day, and the hardest. What, hour? 2 hours maybe? Yeah, this was the hardest shot of the horse game by far, and honestly, it's the least impressive, especially the camera.
We had to move the goal up about 20 feet progressively through the shot. It's raining, and then there's the T-shirt on the camera.
I put a jacket over the camera because we were borrowing these really nice cameras for the video.
Ryan's excuse is I was just trying to make the text more visible in the top left, but I'm not buying it.
Oh, God.
See, it's washed out by the sky. That's his reason. And then Brodie, this was obviously one take. This wasn't too hard.
And then right after this is when we filmed the intro.
And then you said, let's get out of here. It's raining.
Yeah. So,
here we go. Now we're using the 60D.
Yeah. My DSLR camera. Second time using it for a trick shot video.
Fun fact here, I beat Brodie, actually. This was my second throw when I sunk the football, and his were a couple more than that. But, keep that in the DL.
All in all, we were really even throughout the entire week.
Okay, right here, this shot, me throwing it and trying to hit the upright took much longer than me sinking the shot. It took me a good 15 tries to hit that upright. It was
Because again, we were trying. It's like, all right, he missed it, but let's make him miss well.
Yeah, it's the most like
The center punch
easy
was
to see miss.
The center punch was a fun one. We actually we stopped.
First
by,
try here, Brodie's first try with this. He says he does this at halftime shows, and he was 1 for 1 doing this.
Yeah, we tried doing 60 frames on my camera because my camera does 720p at 60 frames, but it's still just a bit,
Bit jumpy,
blotchy,
but
and, yeah.
this is pretty. I was happy with this. It took me a lot longer than Brodie, but I got to center punch it because he kept telling me you got to throw it when it's higher in the air. I was waiting too long, and eventually I got lucky with it hitting it.
We actually, and then Goose catches it with one hand in the background.
Yeah, Chase,
doesn't
did you
happen a
actually
lot.
plan on that, or that just happened?
That just happened.
By the way, if I refer to someone as Goose throughout this, I'm talking about Chase.
Guy in the
So-
red hat back there who just
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
really masculinely caught that frisbee.
And actually, something that was really cool, like the night before Brodie had this idea. Well, I believe it was the night before. He's like, "Oh yeah, get a hula hoop and then get some paper." But it's like, where are we gonna get
Big paper.
Big paper. So we actually stopped by our church, which is where we're. They let us use the cameras that we're using to film this, and they gave us lots of paper.
We got like 6 big pieces at least.
And that was his second try. But I guarantee if he'd had like 5 more tries, he could have.
Yeah,
bounced
about
that
this
ball.
shot, we learned while we were filming that shot is actually possible to make. Like, it wasn't inherently impossible to bounce a football in a certain direction. It's hard, but it's not impossible as is. So we picked the clip that made it look the hardest to, the one that had the worst miss to it, because that one was actually doable, but we needed that letter.
This was a fun one. This was a shot that we made before with a basketball. You used a football, but
Yeah, well, fun fact, keep going, because, I see, and I throw my hat again, lovely. And Brodie, sinks it with the frisbee, but then after that, Brodie actually makes one from the very top with a basketball, which was impressive. It didn't make it in the video, it didn't need to be in the video, but...
He has it up on his vlog channel, though, doesn't
Yeah.
he?
Now, originally, this started with us trying to kick it through the field goal post.
Yeah, it was
And
going to be the
after-
kick
I
shot.
completely forgot about that. You're
After
right.
multiple times of doing that just didn't work
And I think
out.
I said something about if you kick it off a wall, it's just a lot easier, and we tried that. And
And sure enough, he made it, very quickly.
this
Yeah,
one's fun
it
because
is
this is
like
one of those
ball.
shots, you can't do this with a frisbee. So the best part of this is how Brodie misses. So go ahead and play it forward,
Yeah.
and you see, Chase. And,
That was a fun shot.
and watch Chase on this one. He looks up, and he just watches the frisbee, and looks up at Brodie. He's like, "You suck." It was a great.
This was I don't, because we went to our buddy Clark's farm, who was very gracious enough. We used this for the shotgun video, but this was I guess in our minds we had it that this was going to
It
be a
didn't
lot
work the
cooler
way we
than
had
it turned out to be.
The plan was we were going to shoot frisbees out of the air that he threw, and then he was going to shoot basketballs out of the air that we threw. But the bird shot, or whatever we did, it's not visible on camera that something's getting hit. There's no easy way to see that, so we just decided Brodie would throw, and we would throw the clay discs and shoot those instead, and just make it a shooting competition.
Yeah, but
Probably the least entertaining part of the video, but
Yeah, and at this point too, we already had all the other shots planned out for at the Met and stuff for the following day. So we kind of had to have one of us win that one. And oh god, I love this shot, Chase.
All right, Chase.
Oh, this is just
what
a
was your
bullet.
intent on this? Because you kind of just threw them you bulleted them, right?
Yeah, that was every single shot I made. I just bulleted every one of them.
It was because when you watch this one, it's going nowhere but in the way you threw it. Brodie was impressed.
Gosh. And I just have to say, throughout all this, we met Brodie. We picked him up at the airport on a Friday, I believe.
Friday evening.
Yeah, Friday evening. We picked him up. We were talking business for a while, but within the next day, our first shot at Sanford, we really just started clicking. We were complimenting each
Yeah,
other.
the beginning
on
of Sanford, we were just business partners, and at the end, we kind of just formed kind of a friendship with him, and that was really fun to see progress over the weekend.
No, I got to say, I'm really looking forward to working with him again.
This is my favorite letter. Not I guess most impressive, but just it's funny because once you see John make that shot, which by the way, out of all the shots in the horse game, this one took the second longest. This took well over an hour, and we were less than pleased with ourselves on that.
I love
performance.
Brodie right here, just looking at him spinning the frisbee on his finger.
He did a good job of looking interested because he did that, solid 100 times just watching that miss and miss and miss.
Gosh.
But right here's my favorite, miss. It's just there's
Yep.
no possible way.
Yeah,
what was I
nothing.
thinking?
Wall ride shot. First try right here.
Well, we were actually trying to do it into a basketball goal originally, and the goal was too high. It was higher than the wall, so there's really no way to have it ride up the wall and into the hoop. So
and this might actually explain the next shot a bit. These walls, especially in this frame,
they look like
they're a part of one another, but there's actually about a 6-foot gap between
the higher one,
the higher section of that wall. There's a 6-foot horizontal gap, or you can
just it's a walkway.
So like I was behind this right now because there's a little stairwell, so I was actually there.
You were gathering frisbees, right?
I was gathering frisbees. So that kind of explains the staircase that I was on to get those. Explains what happens here.
He throws
it in between the gap. It bounces off the edge of one of the stairs and goes flying
and into the woods. And like everyone's just like, "Wait, where'd it go?" And look at Johnny. He's just like shaking his head, like, "I don't know. I don't know what happened."
Okay, this.
Yeah, you can see. Actually, you can see the gap there.
The gap now.
But over the
okay, this is I guess what we refer to as the bullpen shot.
Throwing it into the bullpen.
Yeah.
John's not even looking. He could have gotten hit in the head. Yeah, go into. Yep.
So, boom, right in. Probably one of the funniest moments of this too is there's a roof right behind the goal. So whenever Carson would like barely throw it over, it would land on that roof, but there wasn't enough room for it to roll out the back.
It would get stuck.
So we would occasionally just see like someone's hand pop up, and I looked like a cat was like popping out of a box.
Sometimes it looked like the basketballs were just flinging themselves, which was funny.
This one is a shot that we're featuring.
This was after a little rainfall here.
Yeah. It was a weird weekend weather-wise, but what a beautiful shot! But they opened up the press box windows. It was great. All right, for this one, we're gonna get Brodie on the phone on speaker to tell you about it.
And basically just talk about the bat shot for us.
Yeah, so this video we were trying to map out some shots where you could do with a basketball and shots that you could do with a frisbee, but you couldn't do vice versa. And you guys have made some pretty sweet bat shots before, and that was brought up. I think who brought it up? Was it John?
I think me and you were talking about it via email before you actually flew in, that we were going to have you, because I was mentioning we've done bat shots before, and I was saying maybe we could have you do it.
Do that, because I think this, hitting a basketball with a baseball bat's already pretty epic. So that was kind of the game plan, and I think we pretty much that day we were pretty on fire, hitting shots pretty quick, and so we had a lot of time left. And we were like, all right, let's do this bat shot now. And you guys hit it pretty quick, and then obviously it was my turn, and I was just gonna do a decent attempt at it, kind of similar to the slingshot earlier in the video. And when I did it, it actually like flew. And so at that point, we kind of all looked at each other, and I was like, I think I could make this. And I think we put a time limit on it. I think we put like 15 minutes of saying like, all right, we got 15 minutes. If I make it in 15 or whatever, we're good. If not, then we'll just use one of the misses as, a letter, and ended up making it. So that was pretty sweet.
Yeah, we were very surprised when that one ended up working out, because that just was not in the game plan, and it was a game changer. It made the video, because basically in that point in the video, if you miss the bat shot, you lose. So everyone's like on the edge of their seat, and when they realize you make it, it's just like, oh wow, they're still tied. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a lot of people probably thought that video was going to end. And for us too, like, we mapped out the Vulcan shot as being like kind of the big epic shot, and having another one in there. There was epic shots all over the place, but, having something that's never been done before, I think really definitely helped, keep people on the edge of their seat while they watch the video.
This is the bat shot. Oh, yeah! Oh! Finish it! Ladies and gentlemen, that is the bat shot.
All right, then we return to Vulcan.
This took much longer than it ought to have. That was Brian rolling it. It was tough because there were different hills and ledges, but we were like, come on, man, you got to get this one in.
I'll be honest, I put the camera on a tripod here, and I totally left Brodie out of the frame. So, yeah.
It's a little bit of everyone's fault, but it was miscommunication, and it looks like the ghost of Brodie threw that frisbee, apparently.
Yes, actually, I threw it, and then we just got Brodie to roll.
There's actually no confirmation of who threw it. The only confirmation we have is that there was a frisbee and that Brodie did roll down the hill. That's all we know.
Yeah.
We'll get back to you when we find out who threw that frisbee.
Brodie was having trouble with it, so I thought I'd just help him out.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Gone.
tapped in.
And then this is he left this out of the video, but like before every single shot,
We named every shot,
We named
basically.
every single shot. He's like, I call it the rocket. I call it the rocket. And I just like
It's just a-
he says
on
it
repeat.
with the exact same syntax every single time. So it,
Mine was called laser beam, but he also cut that out. But
yeah, which granted,
he
kinda
puts
glad
me
he
to
did.
shame here. Mine had like 2 seconds of hang time, and his had like half a second. It was ridiculous.
Boom. All
Mine
right,
actually
and
won.
now it's time for the last.
Oh, fun fact.
The E.
If you've seen this before, you know the big shot's coming up, but this was all filmed after the shot. Although it looks like it looks like a linear progression of them going up the elevator, walking out, and throwing it. Them actually going up the elevator and walking up to the statue was about 2 hours later. So look, there's John throwing it 2 hours earlier.
Yeah, this
Like,
is we got out there at 7 in the morning, I believe.
John
Yeah.
made the shot. This shot, okay, this is impressive actually.
We
He made
got
this
there
in
at
5
7.
tries.
Yeah, he made this in 5 tries. By
Not even
7:05, he was done.
exaggerating. And obviously, Brodie's shot's a little bit harder. There's wind. It's a frisbee, for heaven's sake. And this took maybe an hour or something, and because it has to turn twice. And
Boom. Gosh, I wish that there was a better way to film this because it really doesn't do all the turns that the frisbee does justice, and it kind of.
we were lacking a second camera at that point,
Yeah.
so we didn't have my my lower angle or anything.
Yeah, this is solely on a Canon 60D DSLR on a kit lens, so that's why the video isn't too sharp, which I kind of feel bad about. But yeah, no, this one, I just wish that there would have been a better angle of all the curves that it did in the air.
It turns like at the last second completely. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
And that
So-
banked in too.
Yeah, he banked it. We both banked this one actually. Now I think about it, John banked.
Oh
it.
yeah. And again, if you saw our most popular video, the farthest basketball,
World's farthest basketball
World's
shot,
yeah.
7.5 million.
It's off this exact same monument, not at the exact same
The hoop
spot.
is, you can't tell from right here, but there are tiers, of like grass or whatever. It's one more tier down, basically, where you see the guy in the blue shirt, which happens to be me. It's about 10 feet behind him. Is where
Yeah,
the
there's
goal was.
a little bit of like a brown spot over there.
Probably a landmark. It probably has like a commemorative patch on it or
Oh
something.
yeah. So yeah, that pretty much just finishes up the video. And we're currently talking with Brodie about doing a part 2, a horse game part 2. We don't know yet if it's going to be another tie like this one ended, but
Yeah, we'll hammer out all those details once we're actually on set shooting, or once we actually get into the planning process of emailing back and forth.
But yeah, no, that does it. We had a lot of fun doing this commentary, I think. But we're gonna go and sign off and go ahead and get this up because this video is very long. Thank you for watching all of it. So yeah, we will talk to you later. Have a great day.
Thanks for watching.
Yep. Thanks for watching.
All right, bye.